So in this video we'll be taking a look at the hello world program using the WriteConsole. So this is the normal std out. So we are invoking std out from the Masm library. So the problem with this invoke and std out are these are the Masm specific. So that means if you take this code and compare with this another assembler like turbo assembler, you will get the errors. So that's why what we are going to do is we are going to use the Windows functions to print the hello world onto the console screen. To do that, we need to search for get std handle. First we need to capture get the output or input or error handle according to function we are writing. So here you can see in the get std handle function we have only one thing, that is dword, and the values for this are, you can see -10 for input and -11 for std output and -12 for error. Since we are dealing with the output handle, we are going to get this one -11. So push -11 onto the stack and then we need to call get std handle. Now let's go and build the solution, and here you can see there are no errors, and the output of this one will get stored in the EAX register. So what we can do is EAX stores the return value. Now let's move this value of EAX into the EDX register. Now let's go and search for WriteConsole. So this is the WriteConsole, and first one is console output, the handle. So just we got the handle in the EAX register, we can pass that into this first argument, and the second argument is LP buffer. So you can see pointer to buffer that contains characters to be written to the console buffer screen. So it's just address of the string, and the third argument is number of characters to write. So from this buffer, how many characters you want to print to the screen. So that is like just a number. And the next one is number of characters written. So we will get the output into some variable. Let's we will declare one variable and it holds the number of characters written onto the console screen. And the last one is LP reserve. We can just it must be null. So this is the about the WriteConsole function, and it is in kernel 32 library. And also you can see if the function succeeds, the return value is non-zero. If the function fails, then only the return value is 0. So let's first we need to pass the parameters in the left to right, sorry, right to left. So that means from down to bottom. So the first one is null, so we can say push 0, and this one is number of characters written. So let's go and say some uninitialized data, so written defined by, so we don't know what is the value of that, so that's why we can put the question mark. So this is the uninitialized variable. So push offset return, and the next one is number of characters to write. So the hello world is, I guess, like 12 characters. Let's push 12, and then the buffer push offset what we want to write to the console screen, that is this message that holds the hello world. So offset message, and the first parameter we want to pass is handle. So we can just push EDX. Now we can just simply call WriteConsole. Now let's go and run this one. Before let's build and run this one, and if you run, and you can see the hello world on the screen. You can also change this one number of bytes to be written, let's say 5. So the first 5 bytes will be written onto the screen. Now you can see the difference. In the previous output we had a word, now we have only 5 bytes. So the return value for this WriteConsole gets stored in the EAX register, and also we will be seeing the value of the return DB. So to do that, we need to debug the program, So you can put the breakpoint and you can run this one, but that is not working in this case for the ASM programs. So you can just go to debug and click on step into. No need to put any breakpoints. So now you can see the program has been started. Where we want to put the breakpoint is just after the WriteConsole function. Before we are exiting, we are putting the breakpoint, and now click on continue. So now you can see hello world. The program is waiting to be exited. So in this case, now you can see EX value to 1. So 1 is the return type of the return value of this WriteConsole. That means the function has been succeeded. That's why we got the non-zero output. And also let's go and see the return variable, the contents. Go to Windows and memory, choose memory 1. So now what you can do is you can just say ampersand address of the variable. Now if you hit enter, and you can see this is in the Lithuanian byte order. So from right to left you can count this one 00000C. So C is the 12, the 12 in the hexadecimal. C is the 12 in the hexadecimal. So we got the 12 bytes, number of bytes returned. Those are 12 bytes. So okay, you can also change this one to like say 7 and run this one, and here you can see we get the 7 bytes. So that's all for this video, printing the string onto the console output using the WriteConsole function. You can also do the invoke as well. So invoke is very easy, WriteConsole. So you can just put the semicolon here. The first one is edx and address of message, number of bytes, and address of return, and the last one is 0. And you run this and you get the same output. If you want to write if you want to compile the same assembly program for other assemblers, then you need to follow this procedure rather than the invoke, because invoke and std out are those specific to Masm only.